This lecture deals with alliance theory of kinship as given by Claude Lévi-Strauss. This is also known as the general theory of exchange, and this concept was written by him in his book Elementary Structures of Kinship, published in the year 1949. So this concept basically discusses about how the inter-individual relationships in the society are woven together, and when they are together they constitute the society in a certain way. So how is that society constituted? Second part, the study of kinship systems, it exemplifies positive marriage. Positive marriage which has been accepted by the society, like cross cousin marriage rules. Has it been accepted by the society? Let us understand what he was trying to say. So, coming to the concept first, the alliance theory of kinship is a part of social anthropology, and Levi-Strauss has presented his theoretical point of view in this concept. It focuses on the importance of marriage in the society as opposed to the importance of descent. That means when we talk about alliance, there is not an alliance of family members per se, but there is an alliance through the institution of marriage in the society. Moving ahead, it was based on the exchange of women between groups of men who are related to them. So, what it does when this exchange of women takes place in the society, why did they do it? They did it because it led to social solidarity, it led to better cohesion of people in the society, and as a result, there were better chances of survival of those members which were in the kin group. He further argued that when marriages are regulated through preference, it creates an exchange of women in very simple societies because there is some kind of preference. A man of a certain caste is going to marry a woman of a certain caste, and maybe some other preference also. So, in simple societies, marriages take place through this preference and prescription form, and it is regulated by that society. It also involves exchange of gifts. So why is there an exchange of gifts? He said that there is an exchange of gifts to ensure reciprocity, and due to this reciprocity there is a cooperation of members of the group. That is, they are making each other happy with this reciprocity. That means giving something and taking something. Now, further moving ahead, we will discuss on his views on incest taboo. The alliance theory is actually based on incest taboo, which we know that it is recognized universally and it is prohibited in most of the societies. He said that there is a link between nature and culture, and this comes from universal prescription. That means if everybody is against uh, you know close incest marriage, or if everybody considers incest as a taboo, it becomes universal, and as a result the members of the society they create a link between nature and culture. But he said that it is not the nature that controls humans, but the culture that controls humans, and therefore man is a cultural entity. Sex, for example, in this case is regulated by culture. Okay, nature did not tell us who to have your marriage with and who not to, but our culture dominated. Our culture tells us that having marriage between a brother and sister is wrong. Therefore, we humans are cultural entities. And when man becomes a cultural entity, he is getting controlled by culture, and this is the fundamental condition of human social life. That is, When we talk about incest taboo, it clearly defines that a man is not allowed to make a woman his wife who is his immediate kin, and he has the responsibility of giving her away to another man. It is because of this prohibition of incest that human groups started following exogamy. Okay, when we talk about very primitive societies, endogamy was more prevalent, but as a result of incest taboo, exogamy came into existence. Straw believed that this prohibition has no sociological explanation, and it only shows a difference on the basis of the kinship system, which was a result of the cultural constraints in the society. Incest taboo is therefore seen as negative because it is a taboo, it is not entertained in the society. And the main idea behind this was so that man could move out of the core kinship group and he could belong to other groups as well. Only when he is out of his own group, only then he can be a member of another group. Therefore, this incest taboo was created. He did his study on the relationship between consanguinity and affinity in non European societies. And he said that although they are opposite of each other, but at the same time they are also complementary of each other. There are various rules in the society, rules of preferential marriages, and there are many prohibitions also. One of them we just studied, that is incest taboo. So both of these are incorporated in this theory to make the alliance theory of kinship. Because of these rules that are present in the society, the connection between blood ties, that is your immediate kins, and the affinal ties, that is when you marry someone and the new relationships that develop, these relationships develop because of the rules that are present in the society. And due to the marital ties, Levi Strauss said that in the contemporary society, there is an interdependence between families and their lineages because the society is changing and the rules are also changing, but the interdependence between families still exists because of this institution and exchange of women. Okay, institution of marriage and the exchange of women that is happening in the society. So, this exchange of women was studied by him, and this concept is known as the circle of exchange of women. He said that marriage is nothing but a process of exchange, and when the process of incest taboo happens, what happens as a result? It is not accepted in the society. But when a preferential marriage, a positive marriage happens, what happens? A daughter or sister is sent to a different family, and these positive marriage rules, which is adhered in the society, which is entertained and accepted by the society, it regulates the exchange, and as a result it gives birth to elementary structures of exchange in the society. So these can be of two types. First, restricted one, and second is generalized exchange. In the restricted exchange, the two groups of men which exchange the women, okay, and it could be their sisters. For example, A has a sister and B has a sister, and they both exchange their sisters and get them married to each other. This is very direct, and the reciprocity is immediate, okay, it is happening very fast. In the case of generalized exchange, there are three or more than three groups which exchange women in one direction. That means A's sister will go to B, B's sister will go to C, C's sister will go to D, and so on and so forth. So, as compared to restricted exchange, this is a delayed exchange. It is an indirect exchange, but due to the number of groups, there are higher possibilities of exchange and reciprocities. Now, Straw also gave two models of structure to study kinship and exchange in the institution of marriage. First is elementary structure of kinship. When women in the egos group, egos is the primary persons group, are proposed to another and they are eligible for exchange. But in the case of complex structure, when the group of potential spouses for the women are not known, that means A is not familiar with B and he has kept open in the group. So the group is open, anybody can come and he has to make acquaintance and then only the exchange will happen. But who is excluded? The immediate family is excluded. Otherwise, again, it becomes incest taboo. Now, let us discuss some questions. The alliance theory of Levi Strauss has much similarity with, so it has much similarity with the work of Simon Freud, that is Totem and Taboo, which was published in 1913. Question number 2. Read the paragraph and answer the question. In this paragraph, it has talked about the principle of reciprocity, where there is exchange of women which has led to marriage, and there is also a reciprocity of gifts which takes place along with this exchange. This we have already studied. Third question, who has done the analytical assessment of alliance theory? So the analytical assessment of alliance theory has been done by Needham and Louis Dumont. So the answer will be option number 4, A and